Hey guys, welcome to Wazowski TV Recaps channel. Today I'm going to recap a 2014 animated film called Big Hero 6. There are heavy spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. Hiro Hamada is a young genius and robotics expert who spends his time participating in robot fights. His older brother Tadashi, worried that Hiro is wasting his potential and his intelligence, takes Hiro to the robotics lab at his school, the San Fransokyo Institute of Technology. There, Hiro meets Tadashi's closest friends, Go Tomago, Wasabi, Honey Lemon, and Fred, as well as Baymax, a sweet and hilarious personal healthcare robot that Tadashi created. Hiro also meets Robert Callaghan, the head of the robotics program. Amazed by the students' projects, Hiro decides to enroll in the school. With help from Tadashi and his friends, Hiro designs his own robotics project in order to gain a personal invitation in an annual exhibition. His invention, Microbots, a type of nano-robotics which he can control telepathically through a transmitter, impressed Callaghan, who offers Hiro an invitation to the school. His project also impresses Alistair Cray, owner of a prestigious robotics company, Craytech. Cray offers to buy Hiro's Microbots, but Callaghan successfully convinces Hiro not to make the deal. As they leave to celebrate Hiro's success, a fire suddenly breaks out in the exhibition hall. Tadashi rushes in to rescue Callaghan, who is still inside, but the building explodes moments later, apparently killing Tadashi and Callaghan. Heartbroken over the loss of his brother and his best friend, Hiro shuts himself away in his room and isolates himself from others. 3 months later, Hiro stabs his toe and accidentally activates Baymax, who responds to Hiro's cry of pain. As Hiro attempts to deactivate Baymax, he discovers a single microbot left in his jacket that begins to move. Hiro thinks it's not working, but Baymax believes it's trying to go somewhere. To Hiro's dismay, Baymax follows the microbot to an abandoned warehouse, and Hiro struggles to keep up. There, they discover that someone has been mass-producing Hiro's microbots. They are attacked by a masked man controlling the microbots telepathically and barely manage to escape. Deducing that the masked man stole the microbots at the showcase hall and started a fire to cover his tracks, Hiro decides to catch him and upgrades Baymax with battle armor and various fighting moves. Following the single microbot again, they find the masked man at the harbor and attempt to pull a surprise attack, but are unable to when Gogo, Wasabi, Honey, and Fred arrive in a car because Baymax had contacted them earlier. The masked man attacks them as they flee in the car. They land in the water and nearly drown, but Baymax floats them up to safety. Wet and freezing cold, Fred suggests that they rest in an enormous castle that reveals to be his casa. After realizing that Baymax had scanned the masked man, Hiro decides to upgrade Baymax further so he can scan the entire city to find them. Hiro also upgrades his friends with super suits of their own. When scanning the entire city, Baymax locates the masked man on an island from the city called Akuma Island. When they are there, the group watches a shadowing video and discovers that former Cray was experimenting with teleportation technology. The test went wrong and off-center when one of the portals became unstable and the test pilot was lost. Because of this, they wonder if it is Cray that is the masked man. The masked man unexpectedly reappears and begins to attack them. They attempt to get his mask where they deduce the transmitter is located. Despite some difficulties, Hiro succeeds in knocking off the mask, and when he does, the man is revealed to actually be Professor Callaghan, who explains that he survived the fire from the exhibition hall by using Hiro's microbots to shield himself from the blaze. Hiro then realized that when Tadashi went into the exhibition hall earlier to rescue Callaghan, Callaghan actually killed Tadashi during the building explosion, which was Tadashi's actual mistake. Enraged that his brother died in vain, he angrily removes Baymax's health chip and orders him to kill Callaghan for revenge. With only the battle chip left, Baymax becomes a killing machine and goes on a massive rampage in an attempt to kill Callaghan, who is powerless without the microbots. Gogo, Wasabi, Fred, and Honey Lemon, knowing that murdering Callaghan was not the answer to avenge Tadashi, stops Baymax by reinstalling his healthcare chip. But Callaghan gets the mask back and escapes. Angry at the four for preventing him from exacting revenge on Callaghan, Hiro leaves with Baymax. Once he returns home, Hiro attempts to remove Baymax's healthcare chip again. Baymax objects to this and asks him if killing Callaghan will make Hiro feel better and asks if Tadashi would have wanted this. To relax him, Baymax then shows 3 video recordings of Tadashi during Baymax development, and he makes replacements with the 4 as he began to forgive them. After examining more footage of the teleporter test, they discovered that the test pilot was actually Callaghan's daughter, and realized that Callaghan was seeking revenge on Cray, whom he blames for her seeming death. Using the micropods, Callaghan captures Cray and repairs the portal device so that it will become unstable and destroy Cray tech. The heroes arrive and Hiro attempts to reason with Callaghan. Callaghan briefly fades, ultimately gives in to his hatred and proceeds with his plan. The heroes battle him and eventually manage to neutralize the microbots by getting them sucked into the portal and take the mass transmitter from him. However, the portal remains active and is becoming increasingly unstable. As everyone prepares to leave, Baymax detects a female life form within the portal, realizing that Callaghan's daughter is still alive and in hypersleep. Hiro and Baymax rush in to save her. However, on their way out, Baymax's armor is damaged by a giant piece of debris, and the only way to save Hiro and Callaghan's daughter is to sacrifice himself. Hiro refuses to leave Baymax behind, but Baymax tells him that it is the only option. Baymax asks Hiro if he is satisfied with his car, to which Hiro sadly says yes, and Baymax deactivates. Hiro and Callaghan's daughter make it back through the portal using Baymax's rocket fist. Callaghan is then arrested while Callaghan's daughter is taken to the hospital. Later, as Hiro settles into Tadashi's old lab, he discovers Baymax's healthcare chip within the rocket hand. He successfully rebuilds Baymax, inserts the chip, and they happily reunite. The 6 friends then continue their heroic exploits through the city, helping those in need. In a post-credits scene after the credits, Fred is back at his castle talking to a photo of his father, telling him that he would be proud of him. Fred accidentally opens a secret door, and upon entering, he finds weapons, armor, and superhero gear. His father arrives and states that they have a lot to talk about, and the two hug. With this, the movie ends. Hope you enjoyed the recap. See you soon with a recap of a new movie. Till then, stay happy and chill out.